Alright everyone, well, let's wrap up this Holiday Fest marathon, looking into the year 2021. Hope you all stay well and safe, and, well, I think we can all agree this year of 2020 has been certainly one of the worst, and, well, we really need some movies, don't we? And keep in mind, people, everything is still up in the air on release dates, and everything is subject to change depending on how much longer this stinking pandemic goes on for. I'm hoping it ends sooner than later. So, anyway, let's look into 2021 with my most anticipated movies list of that year, and what I hope the best of the best are going to be. And it's going to be a top 21 list, yeah, because it's going to be 2021, with a few honorable mentions here and there. So, let's get to it, shall we? Starting with number 21, Minions: The Rise of Gru. Yes, anticipated this one last year, and I'm going to keep these ones that were postponed to this year from last year pretty short, sweet, to the point. Again, I don't know where this is going to go, but I've seen the teaser trailers. It looks promising. It looks like it's going to have some, well, funny and humorous and cutesy gags to it. I know the Minions may be getting a little annoying and overstaying their welcome, but let's hope for the best out of this one in Illumination and Universal, shall we? Number 20, Disney's Jungle Cruise. Another one that was pushed from last year based off the famous theme park attraction at the Disney parks with the big guns Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt alongside him on an adventure which looks to be kind of a mix between Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, let's hope for some good action adventure. Let's just hope it's not just a regular cash grab, you know, but let's hope for the sake it's more on the level of Pirates of the Caribbean, at least the first few of them, to make some good, fun action adventure, you know, Disney style. Number 19, Black Adam. Only seen a teaser trailer for this one, but it's supposed to star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the Shazam villain, Black Adam, and it's got promise to it. I mean, DC Comics is starting to improve, so let's hope for the best out of this one. Not sure if it's going to come out this year, who knows. Number 18, Morbus. Yes, a Marvel movie that is going to be done by Sony Studios and is going to coexist in the same universe as Spider-Man movies, you know, the ones with Tom Holland, because it is supposed to have Michael Keaton as the Vulture character, and some new cast members, which does look like it has some promise. Judging by the sound of it, don't know too much about this character. He supposedly tries to cure himself of blood disease, judging by the plot of the film, and he gets like vampire-type powers, so I'm hoping this doesn't end up like another Ghost Rider-ish. I mean, I did enjoy the first one, but the sequel was absolutely terrible. But hopefully this continues the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With Sony in it, I am a little bit iffy, but I think they can pull it off. Number 17, A Quiet Place 2, one that was supposed to release and, well, got canceled and postponed to 2021 just as the pandemic started, and how appropriate, because that's pretty much what the whole world was like, almost, with the whole world pretty much going to shit and things changing, hopefully not forever, but it's supposed to be both a prequel and sequel, and I enjoyed the hell out of the first one, so let's hope it can continue that success, even with the same director, the actor, who is husband of Emily Blunt's character, and some new cast members, which I think can bring out the good in it, make A Quiet Place, well, even more suspenseful. Not expecting it to be as good, but who knows. Number 16, Free Guy. Yeah, another one pushed from last year, which stars Deadpool actor Ryan Reynolds, and it looks to be almost like a Ready Player One, but with a little more of a humorous twist to it. So, yeah, if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. It's also going to have the same guy who played Steve from Stranger Things, and, well, a couple other actors here and there. So, set in the video game universe, why not, right? Number 15, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Another entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Phase 4 to be exact, and this one is, well, pretty interesting because you're going to have some Asian cast members involved with it, including an Asian director, so I think this is definitely going in the right direction. So, don't really know too much about the characters in this film, but I didn't really know too much about Doctor Strange before I went to see that, and didn't even know it was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but hey, I go to see these movies and I learn a lot about them, and I'm sure this is going to do the same, so don't let us down, Marvel. Number 14, Elvis. Yes, based on the true story about the famed singer, who sadly passed away many decades ago, and it's going to star, well, the same actor who played Tex from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and another actor who, even if you were living under a rock, you'd have to know by his name, Tom Hanks, playing his manager. An interesting story, and thankfully he recovered from COVID-19, but when he was down in Australia filming this movie, that's when he contracted it and tested positive, as well as his wife Rita Wilson. So, yeah, good news right there, thankfully, and this movie is pressing on forward for a November release of 2021. So, let's hope for the best out of it. I mean, they did great with a lot of these movies based on true stories about famous singers, like Rocket Man and, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody. Let's hope it ends up on that level, shall we? Number 13, Raya and the Last Dragon. Yes, of course, Disney has to have at least one animated movie of 2021, and this is going to be it. Let's hope it's on the same level as the Frozen movies, Wreck-It Ralph films, Big Hero 6. It's going to be made by the same studio, judging by the animation of it. The animation looks to be very slick, and it's going to have that real, Asian Oriental type theme to it, which I really do enjoy. I've seen plenty of these type of movies like Kung Fu Panda and Abominable, so this one's going to look to have a lot of action, dragons, and so forth. Sounds pretty interesting, and I'm sure Disney will surprise us a lot. I mean, they haven't struck out once lately, have they? So, don't let us down, Disney. Number 12. Eternals. Yes, another entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with, rather big cast of actors, big group of superheroes. We've seen this done before, and I'm sure it'll work out. I've read a few comics on these characters, and I'm sure Marvel can really pull the magic hat trick. I'm just hoping it doesn't end up like another Fantastic Four, so I have faith in Marvel right here. Keep Phase 4 going good and strong, even after the awesome Endgame. I think they'll keep it going good. Number 11. The Suicide Squad, yes. Not to be confused with the 2016 film Suicide Squad. It's supposed to be a both soft reboot / sequel, and it's supposed to be directed by James Gunn. I know the last one was not very well received by fans and critics. I sort of thought it was decent, and it is supposed to bring back Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, who you can't deny did a great performance in that film, and even the sequel, Birds of Prey. She's coming back along with a cast of new actors like John Cena and a whole bunch of others, as well as some returning cast members. And most importantly, it's going to be directed by James Gunn, the Guardians of the Galaxy director. It definitely has a lot of promise to it, and I think it's going to be, whether you look at it as a reboot or sequel, I think it's going to improve. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't work out, but I think it's going to be better, trust me. Number 10, Venom. There will be Carnage, yes. I know, again, the first Venom movie was not very well received by fans and critics. I thought it was okay. I mean, at least Tom Hardy was a better Venom than Topher Grace was. Granted, he was a miscast choice, but okay. The film wasn't perfect. I get it. It should have been rated R, and I'm not sure if this one's going to be, but it has promise. And if you saw the mid-credit scene, you would know right off the bat that Carnage is going to be one of the main characters in this movie. And yes, Tom Hardy is going to return, as well as Michelle Williams. And it's going to be directed by Andy Serkis, who, if you've seen Lord of the Rings and the Planet of the Apes reboot series, as well as the Peter Jackson's King Kong, yeah, he's pretty much a monkey within himself. Andy Serkis plays all those characters, or animals, whatever you call them, as well as Gollum and so forth. And he's even been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I think it could work. Or maybe not, but let's hope for the best out of it. Number 9, Mortal Kombat. Yes, a reboot to the franchise after the first one was at least good cheesy fun, but followed by a god-awful sequel, Annihilation, which I'm sure we all can agree was an absolute disgrace. It was so bad it ended up getting a third movie canceled that it had planned in the future. So let's hope for the sake one thing for sure. Yes, I've heard it's going to be R-rated. So that says enough right there. One thing that worries me, yes, I know video game-based movies aren't always great. So we could hope for the sake this at least does good, doesn't throw too many characters in there, at least gives us a decent story, some decent action, and with producer James Wan in the picture, it could work. I mean, the only thing that worries me too is the director. This is going to be his directorial debut, so let's hope he doesn't fail at this one. Let's hope he gives us some good, fun, and bloody action from a video game franchise that we all known and loved for many years. Number 8, Spider-Man, 3, I guess you can call it right now, or as the working title would call it, Untitled Spider-Man Far From Home sequel, because there is no actual sequel title for it yet. So, yeah, if you've seen the last two films, you've seen my reviews on them, you already know I praised them. Tom Holland did a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this will work out, seeing how, well, Spider-Man Far From Home was technically part of Phase 4 post-Endgame, and if you've seen the post-credit scene, I'm not going to give anything away, this should be interesting. As far as I know, I can't guarantee that it's going to come out this year. It might be pushed to 2022 because it's aiming for a December of 2021 release date. And it's going to have, this is where I'm a little bit iffy, it's going to bring back actors from previous Spider-Man movies, like Alfred Molina as Dr. Octavius from the second Sam Raimi film, and Jamie Foxx as Electro from the second Mark Webb Spider-Man movie. This is where I'm a bit iffy, and I thought this was a reboot series and had nothing to do with those, so who knows how this could work. I'm not calling them bad actors, I'm not calling their performances bad, I just thought this was not supposed to exist in those universes, and I'm not sure, depending on how I heard the rumors, that they're going to bring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in and call this like a Spideyverse type thing. I don't know, I'm not sure this is the right direction to go in, but who knows, it could work out. And maybe it won't be a Spideyverse thing. All I know is, I'm just hoping they're not throwing too much in there, because you already know the last time they tried that, yeah, we know how that turned out. So, let's hope for the best out of this one, and it doesn't suffer the typical third movie syndrome. Number 7, Fast and Furious 9, or F9, whatever the hell you would call it. Again, postponed from last year, got John Cena in here, but unfortunately no Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Jason Statham as Hobbs and Shaw. But yes, John Cena's in this, and some of the other actors are in this, and you're bringing some of the cast back from Tokyo Drift. It could be cool. I mean, I know Tokyo Drift was not exactly the favorite in this franchise. It's where it hit the speed bump, but it looks to have some good action. Let's hope it can continue the franchise going at the height of its popularity that it's at. And obviously it's not going to be the last one. Number 6, Black Widow. Yes, another Marvel movie that was postponed from 2020, several times to be exact, and in case you're wondering, this is going to be a prequel. It has to be, if you saw Avengers Endgame, somewhat spoiler alert there. And it's going to focus mainly on her character, and I've been really dying to see this type of movie. And it's going to have David Harbour, who you probably know as Hopper from Stranger Things, as well as Rachel Weisz, and so forth. So, yeah, let's hope for the best out of this one. Let's hope she could still kick some ass even after all she's been through and, well, what she's about to face in Endgame. So, like I said, gonna take place just after Captain America Civil War, but right before Avengers Infinity War. Number 5, Halloween Kills. Another one postponed from 2020. Gonna be a direct sequel to the, well, sequel that acts like all the other sequels never happened to Halloween, you know, the one that came out in 2018 that I praised to death. It was a great reunion with Michael Myers and, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode as a grandmother, to be exact, but hey, she could still be as badass as ever, protecting her family. And obviously it's not going to be the last one, because they have another one called Halloween Ends yet to come after this one. But let's not jump the gun here. Let's hope we can see a good body count out of Michael Myers, and Laurie Strode, I'm sure, will not give up on trying to end him for good. Even though, of course, it's obviously not going to be the end, but hey, that's all we want to see. Michael Myers doing what he's well known for. Number 4, The Kingsman. Yes, I'm going to sound like a broken record saying that this was postponed. And this was postponed numerous times as well. And yes, this is going to be a prequel, and it's going to reunite Matthew Vaughn, but a new casting, because that's what it is. It's a prequel, and it's going to take place, judging by it, from the First World War. Let's hope it's that same style action, you know, fast and slow motion, a lot of violence and blood, and I'm sure it's going to be R-rated. And with the trailer that has that music by Black Sabbath, War Pigs to be exact, couldn't sound any more badass than that, and even look any more badass than that. So let's hope Matthew Vaughn can continue this trend of this franchise going. Keep it as badass as ever. Number 3, The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Yes, that's going to be the title of the movie, yet again postponed from 2020. Let's hope this one does not suffer third movie syndrome. My only worry is that it's going to be not directed by James Wan, but instead directed by the same guy who did Curse of La Llorona, and that's where I kind of draw the line a little bit, but who knows, maybe he can pick up from that mediocre film and make this one hopefully not suffer a typical third movie syndrome that most third movies suffer from. I mean, the title alone just sounds a little iffy, so maybe it could be good, or maybe not. All I know is the Warrens are coming back, both played by Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, and with a new case that sounds pretty interesting. Don't let us down. Give us some good scares for a third time. Number 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yet again, postponed from 2020, set to release this summer, maybe. I'm hoping it is, because this is going to be the third movie.